Hello everyone, my name is Shanasharet and my register number is UR15CX356. So today we are going to see about the file processing, how to perform file processing using shell script in Unix. So let's get into it. So the first question which you're supposed to solve is to find the number of occurrences of a given word or character in a file using shell programming. So we're going to find the number of occurrences, that is by using this command called word count. So let's get into that. Now, so this is the program actually. So first you're getting the input from the user as to which line is supposed to be searched, and then you're going to type the file name. So both of them are read. Now you open a new variable and within that you give the command grep. Grep is nothing but a command especially used for searching for a particular word, or no, not just a word, just simply search anything at all that you want in the Unix shell script. And $A is the line that you're supposed to search in, and $FN is the file name that from which the the line is supposed to be read, and WC stands for the word count. So this will help in finding out the word count of that particular line, and -L is used for listing. So when I run the program, now I'm just going to exit from there and I'm going to run the program. So the line I'm going to search is enter, and the file name is exercise1.basic. So as you can see, the line that I wanted to search was enter. So the number of times the line enter keeps on occurring, and the file name is I had already created a file called exercise1.sh. So as a result of that, I got a so in this particular file I wanted to search the number of times the word entered had occurred. So as you can see, the number is given as 2. So there were only 2 times in which the word enter had been given as the input. So let's get into the next question. Okay. So the next question is find and replace a word or character in a file using shell programming. So we need to find the file and then replace it with another another word. So let's get into it. Unix Ex. So I go into the file. Okay. So the input is gotten from the user, which is nothing but the word that I want to replace, and another input is gotten from the user as to which word that should I replace it with the previous word, and finally the file name is gotten from the user. So so similarly, just as we have used grep, we have another command called set, and this is used for the replacing of it. So as you can see, $A is the word that you want to replace, and $B is the word you want to replace it with, /G, and finally the file name. So let me just exit from it, and when I run the program, so I want to enter the word to replace. I'd like to replace the word with I'm just going to take any variable. I've taken it as A, and I want to replace it with A or is apostrophe. File name exercise1.sh. So as you can see in the program, every single area where there is an alphabet called A has gotten replaced with A dash. So as you can see, grade. In grade, you can see A has been replaced with A apostrophe. A apostrophe. So everywhere in the entire program, the A has been replaced with A apostrophe. Now I'm going to change it again because I don't want it to be everywhere. So I'm just going to replace every single place where I put a apostrophe into a again. So I'm just going to give a, and the file name is exercise1.sh. So as you can see here, once again, anywhere, great. So anywhere there had been a apostrophe has been converted to a again. So this is the one of the file processing things. The next one is display the file information with header like inode number, permission, links, owner ID, group ID, and all these things for a given file. Okay, so we need to print the file information of a particular file. So let's do that. Okay, so vi okay. So I need to get the file, whose information is supposed to be displayed. So for that, I get the input from the user, and yeah, the first requirement was to print the inode number. So I give echo inode number is, and ls lists the lists anything and everything that you want, -li, and $a is the input that is gotten. Cut -f1 -d is going to give me the actually when I type there's another command in which can be used to display the entire inode number, permission, link, owner ID, everything as a whole together. So what we're going to do here is to separate each of those columns. So since there are n number of columns, we're going to separate those columns into separate ones so that they can be printed in the correct way, or in a way that can be easily understood. So we're going to cut those, -f1 is going to cut the first row alone, and -d is going to do it. So the same way, the permission, link, and owner, every single thing. So when the file information is seeked, everything will be printed together. So in order to distinguish them and separate them, we're going to use this, that is ls-li $a and pipeline cut. So this is going to cut each of those columns into separate ones and going to be printed. So we'll just look into how it works. So sh .sh. So the file name is exercise1.sh. So as you can see, the inode number, the permissions, that is read, write, then link, owner ID, group ID, everything is going to be printed based on how you want it. So this is one of the file processing things. Finally, next we're going to display the user information. So like the terminal number, the username, and all those things are going to be displayed. So how are we going to do that? Let's just look into it. So it's going to be vi specify sh. Okay. Okay. So once again, you're going to get the username from the user. So based on the username, you're going to display all the information about the user. So you get how is that possible? So you're going to use the command w, and $a is the username. Cut f1. So the same way, w command is going to list you the entire details of your of the user. So in order to distinguish that and to make it easier for a person to understand, we're going to separate it into different columns, and we're going to cut it into different columns and display it so that for easier understanding. So I'm gonna run it. I'm going to give the username. As you can see, the username is displayed. The terminal number, the date, time, and IP address, everything is displayed as you require. So next is finally is going to be the displaying of login information. So there's already an existing file called etc/password, and this is going to display, and in this particular file we're going to display the username, password and user ID of one particular, that is the login information of one user. So we're going to get the username from the user, and that is going to print all the information about the particular user. So let's see how that happens. Okay, so actually the user ID is going to be got from the user. Since there are a number of users, we're going to give anything, something, and then so there's another, so we're getting the user ID from the user, and there's another variable called E, which is going to search for the file. So the file is nothing but /etc/password. Then finally, just like what we did earlier, we're going to do nothing but cut each of those columns, separate them, and then print them as is required. So we have created various number of variables within which we stored the that is the username and group ID and all the informations. Finally, we are going to display it in the variables that are already created. So I'm just going to run this particular in SH. So I'm going to give the user ID as FTP. So as you can see, the username, the group ID, the user info, home directory, user for default shell, everything gets printed here. So these are some of the file processing techniques using certain commands which you can satisfy. So thank you.